Skip, I got good news and I got bad news for you. And for me, Skip, when I was a kid, I always ate the dessert first before I ate the main meal. So I'm going to give you the good news first. I got the Cowboys winning. Yeah, I got the Cowboys winning 14 games. Unfortunately for you, it's over the next 2 seasons. You thought you had, hold on, time out, Skip Bayless.
That was really funny.
Hold on, time out. Hold on for a second, Skip Bayless.
Be a stand-up comic.
Skip Bayless, hold on for a second. You actually thought I thought you guys were going to win 14 games, considering you barely won 14 games over the last 2 years. Thank you. Skip, look. All I know you say, you got nickname Red. Good friend of mine, Jason Garrett. Friend of mine, not of yours. 8-8 Jason Garrett. Guess what, Skip? It's hard to be 8-8 now, considering you got an odd game. Yeah. But I can see you guys being 8-1. But you know what, Skip? Y'all not winning the division. Let me start with that first. You, Skip Bayless, your Dallas Cowboys will not win the division. The New York Football Giants are going to win the division. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go one step further. The Washington football team will finish second in the division. I'm going to take it a step further. You guys are going to finish third. Third in the division with a $107 million quarterback. Skip, did you know Dak Prescott made the top 10 Forbes list of highest paid professional athletes?
Well, not just the top 10, he's fourth.
How that gonna make you feel when you don't even make the playoffs?
He's not making LeBron James in income.
Don't you worry.
Way to go.
Don't worry about what LeBron James makes. Stop counting that man pocket. Skip, look. At some point in time, we got to stop. We got 3 receivers that can get you 1,000 yards. And we got an offensive line. They got 2 guys that's going to probably end up in Canton. Tyron Smith and Zach Martin. And Zeke's going to have a bounce-back season. But at some point in time, you're going to have to put a level of consistency together. And I have yet to see that. In your defense, everybody keep talking about they got Dan Quinn, and he talking about rinse and repeat, but you still got the same guys that you're going to rinse and repeat with. So with all that being said, Skip Bayless, I got you guys going. I want to say 8-1. So that's my first inclination, to go 8-1. But I'll give you 1 win. I'm going to give you 1 more win. I'm going to say you're 9-8 and you don't win the division.
Okay, so what are the Giants then? Are they going to win 11?
10-7.
Okay, then how's my team going to finish third?
Easy. Y'all going to finish a tie with Washington, but Washington going to sweep you bums.
Because of Ryan Fitzmagic?
Oh, Fitzmagic. You know Fitzmagic. Hold on. So you saying Fitzmagic can do a job on Brady, but he ain't got nothing for Dak?
Well, he didn't do a job on Brady. He did it on Belichick.
No, he didn't.
Okay, my turn. I'll be the first to admit I do not love my team going into this season. But I definitely like my team more than I like the Giants or Washington or the Eagles. My team will win the NFC East. If you want to call it the least, you can. But all 4 teams will be a little bit better than they were last year, just a little bit better. And my team is the one team that got its quarterback back in the saddle is the Dak attack. Dak Prescott is back. I think he'll be, 90 to 100% healthy this year, coming off a career-threatening, obviously, broken leg and dislocated ankle, requiring 2 surgeries. But by all accounts, he's ahead of schedule. Don't they always say they're ahead of schedule? I don't know.
I've never heard anybody say behind schedule.
I haven't either. But I'm willing to bet that by game number 1, which unfortunately is at Tampa Bay, thank you, NFL, for doing that to us. So we're going to be 0-1 because we're up against the juggernaut that I've already said is going to go 17-0. So that's an L. But I still say, just because we have Dak and nobody else in the division does, they have Daniel Jones and they have Fitzmagic. I guess it's Fitzmagic, or is it Taylor Heineke, or is it, what's his name, Allen? I don't know who they're going to play at quarterback. And I love Jalen Hurts just as a competitor, and I do think the Eagles will be better than you think. But I'll take Dak over Jalen right now. So just sheerly on quarterback alone, I'm going to win the division. And just by default, my defense is going to be better than it was last year because it was all-time horrible last year. It was arguably the worst defense in franchise history last year. for a while on a record pace, giving up rushing yards, as we always talk about. 308 at home to Cleveland, and then 294 at Baltimore, and you throw all that. There were a couple other 200s at Washington and versus Arizona at home. And it was just pathetic, and it was humiliating, and it was embarrassing. So finally, we got Mike Nolan out of there. He was hired, obviously, just as a favor that it was returned by Mike McCarthy because he once gave McCarthy a job. It was a disaster of a move by Mike McCarthy. It should have made him on the hot seat and almost fireable for hiring Mike Nolan. So here comes Dan Quinn, who simply presided last year in Atlanta over the 5th worst pass defense in the history of the National Football League.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
and that's what you talk about Mike Nolan, Skip. You said Mike Nolan was historically bad, but you replaced him with somebody that was historically worse.
Yeah, because as they call him, DQ. Well, when he was in Atlanta, DQ stood for Dairy Queen, as in he just gave you a bunch of soft ice cream on defense.
Soft serve,
right?
yes.
Soft ice cream. That's what the Falcons were last year. Okay. So we go into the draft, and we land the guy that you thought was the best defensive player in the draft in Micah Parsons. Well, surely doesn't that make him a little bit better? Look, I don't love Kelvin Joseph. I wanted Patrick Surtain, as you know, but won't he make him a little bit better? And I thought they stole Jabril Cox, and he will make them better. And there's still Jalen Hurts and Wolf Hunter, and I don't know what to expect from either one of them, but at least you still have them there. They drafted that tall corner, 6'4" Nashawn Wright out of Oregon State, and he already says he's a more athletic, agile Richard Sherman. That's what he says. Well, I would prefer that they actually go sign right here, right now, the real Richard Sherman, because they need him. They need him as a tutor on defense, as a big brother on defense, and right away, I think they need him to start at cornerback, and especially going down to Tampa Bay on that opening Thursday night under the gun. I would rather have Richard Sherman in the starting lineup than Nashawn Wright or whoever, even Kelvin Joseph for that matter, because they will just get schooled by Tom Brady. So I hope they go get Richard Sherman, who obviously played for Dan Quinn once upon a time in Seattle. But they did bring in from Atlanta with Dan Quinn, Keanu Neal, for what it's worth. I think he's a little better. And Kazee.
A little better at what?
Just playing linebacker. He'll graduate from safety to linebacker because he's had an Achilles tear and an ACL tear. I think he'll give him a little thump at linebacker that they have not had. Well, I do. And
Skip, have you really looked at the Cowboys schedule?
Yeah.
You do realize y'all starting the season 0-2, right?
No, they're going to beat the Chargers at L.A. out here at SoFi. They are. That's going to be the turnaround game. That's actually, to me, a make-or-break game, a north-south game. You got to get back up on that horse and ride it out here to the Chargers after that Thursday night game. You get 10 days to prep for the Chargers. I think they can beat the Chargers and get back on a little bit of a roll.
Hello. And you do know y'all got Kansas City. Skip. Ooh, let me see. Losing at the Giants, y'all losing. At Washington football team, lost. At New Orleans, lost. At Kansas City, lost. Denver gonna beat y'all at home.
No.
At Minnesota, lost. At New England, lost. At Chargers, lost. At Tampa. Skip, that's 8 losses right there.
Okay. I agreed with everything you said except Denver at home. We can beat Denver at Jerry World. And I'm here to tell you, I think my team can sweep at Jerry World. I think they can go 8-0 at home. 8-0. I got them going 4-2 in the division with 3 home wins and 1 win away, which is the last game of the season at Philly. I believe they could win that game, which it will be required to win the division. So they go 4-2 in the division. They go 6-5 out of the division. They go 8-0 at home, 2-7 on the road. I agreed with most of your road losses.
Okay.
And that adds up to 10-7. And the rest of the division, I've got your Giants and Washington going 9-8. Not bad. And I got Philly being a little bit of surprise at 8-9 with Jalen Hurts. So it'll be a tight fit. And yet I think Dallas, just by virtue of Dak Prescott at home, will be good enough to go 10-7 and win the NFC, if you want to call it least.
Skip, you and I both thinking along the same lines. We just got we're agreement on the kind of the records in which the teams in the division are going to have. We just different on who we believe is going to get those 10 wins. You look at what the Giants added: Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney. They bring in Adoree Jackson to pair with Bradbury. Nate Solder, who he opted out at left tackle, he comes back, and they got Saquon.
Yep.
Say it loud with me.
Yep.
Saquon, who will hit a home run. You know the guy that you say all he does is one splash play, and then he only gets like 2 yards the rest of the game? Well, he go hit his head on the goalpost from 70 on you guys.
Okay.
So,
timeout. Guess who he's going to have to deal with now? Micah. Another Penn Stater that you say is the best defensive player in the draft.
Yeah, he
Micah will be taking Saquon. Say it loud with me. Micah, because you love him. And he's going to be a difference maker for my defense from day one.
But the thing is, Skip, is that you blame Mike Nolan for all the ills of the defense. And Jerry went out and got somebody that was coaching a defense that was actually worse than Mike Nolan's. Now, the thing is, so what are you telling me? What are we going to get? Now, are you telling me that D-Law is going to get back to playing the level of football that he played to get that $100 million contract? Is he going to get back to that level?
Yes.
Is Michael Parsons going to be what we believe? I believe he's the best defensive player in this draft. If he plays like that, you're on to something. Now, your corner, are you telling me Trayvon Diggs is going to take that next step? Because if you get those three guys, if you get D-Law playing at the level, you get Parsons playing at a level, you get Trayvon Diggs playing at an elite level, you got 3 levels. Okay, now you can be into something.
Throw in Randy Gregory. I'm telling you, he's a difference maker coming off the edge, and you started to see it later last year.
I mean, just what I do know. I know he'll get me a penalty that's going to give somebody a first down and keep a drive alive that's going to end on the touchdown. He'll get a face mask, or he'll get a hands to the face that'll also keep a drive alive. So I'm counting on things like that. So at the end of and then also, Skip, you do realize in this defense, you can't gamble. You can't take those risks. You know, Trayvon Diggs like to gamble a little bit, Skip.
He does.
You can't gamble. You really can't gamble in this defense.
Okay, so, but you have to admit, just Micah Parsons alone has to make it a little bit better than it was a year ago. Just the fresh blood alone, just the kids alone, they're talented kids. It's going to have to be a little bit better. And even you, I know deep down, you think this defense could turn out to be pretty special if it all comes together and the kids grow up fast.
Well, it ain't kids no more. Michael Parsons needs to play well. But, Skip, if you look at the Giants last year, they were at a top 10 defense. They were ninth in scoring. They add a Z Ojulari, who can bend the edge. Big Leonard Williams got paid, who could collapse the pocket. And on that back end, Patrick Graham coaching that defense up, a New England's protege, Coach Belichick. You know that, Skip, last year, they gave Tom Brady fits. And if they, Skip, everything, look, this division, everything's going to be predicated on the quarterback. We can make it about the defenses. We can make it about the special teams. We can make it about whatever we want. But it's going to come down to does Dak Prescott outplay Daniel Jones, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Jalen Hurts? Or can one of those guys outplay Dak Prescott?
Shannon, thank you. You just summed it up. You are stuck. You and your Giants are stuck with Daniel Jones turnover machine. Case closed. Thank you.
Daniel Jones going to rush for 55 yards and a touchdown against you guys and beat you.
Okay.
Well, and how does it going to make you feel?
too soon to know. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.